Thank you to our sponsor, Good Faith Tattoo Studio.
Welcome back, guys. This is episode 6. We have Justin Bailey here with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. How are you? How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. Everything's good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Can't
awesome.
complain. God's good.
Do you have anything coming up for next week or anything
I
special
do.
you can
I
think of?
have a softball tournament that is coming up
Okay.
Saturday in Hobbs.
Okay.
I got a few guests or clients, I should say, that want me to get some action shots for their kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, your photography, do you stick just with sports or do you have a variety of, do you do weddings, quinceañeras, any of that? Is it a variety or just sports?
So I do have a variety. Right now, I'm just kind of focused on sports and portraits.
Okay.
I've had a few clients ask about like wedding quinceañeras.
Mm.
But for the most part, I do want to get into that eventually. I just haven't had the practice or the experience in it. I know I could probably do pretty good in it, but yeah, I just kind of right now sports is blowing me up,
Yeah,
and I like being in a sports environment. So
that's
the
always
portrait
fun.
side, and I do want to get into branding also.
Okay.
So that'll be something that you can look forward to down the future in the
Yeah.
future.
All right. And what let's rewind and let's what inspired you to do this?
Ooh,
What
that's a
made
good
you want to
one.
start?
I think it's more of, how do I say this? When I was starting to like brand myself, and I fell in love with just the creativity of it.
Mm.
Um, the sports photos, I just love sports, so that's what kind of got me into it as well. I did a lot of it for my son, through
Okay.
youth, and the creativity side of, you got to get the angles, you've got to get,
Yeah.
it's fast paced, so it challenges me all the time. It's not the same every time I'm going for a shoot.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
true.
what's kind of inspired me, and yeah.
And it like you had mentioned the angles. You have to have like certain angles.
Yeah.
The lighting is always important.
Yes.
Always important, the lighting.
Oh
And
yeah.
you said you have one coming up in Hobbs, a softball one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a few clients out there that want me to, do some shots for their kids.
Is it for a girls team or a boys team?
Girls.
Girls team?
Yes.
Yeah, they be getting into that softball over there.
Yeah,
It's
they do.
it's
It's
crazy.
everywhere. Midland, Hobbs, Lubbock,
Yes.
Lamesa. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
You ever reached your I made it moment yet or not yet?
There, there was one photo
Uh-huh.
that a lot of people loved. It was the Clint football game for the high school.
Okay.
I took a picture of the cheerleaders.
Uh-huh.
The sun was in the background.
Oh, nice.
And they threw the girl up, and she was kind of like in a twist,
Uh-huh.
and I just exposed and underexposed the sun really well, and it looks like the sun is just beaming on the ground.
Oh, wow.
It's a really good photo, but
Yeah.
those photos kind of, it took a turn in my photography side of it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where a lot of people started hitting me up like, oh, can you give me some action shots?
Mm-hmm.
My child does this and that, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, yeah.
So you do get a lot of requests. It's more
Yeah.
of does social media help you with that, or
Oh yeah.
is it by people's like referring them to you?
The word of mouth.
Yeah.
A lot of parents, I've in the past week, I want to say probably 10 parents hit me out just by word of mouth,
Oh, wow.
and then most of the time it's social media. So it's kind of like an even balance for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. And your social media handles, do you have Instagram or anywhere that they can
Yes.
reach you for them to see your portfolio? I assume.
Portfolio I'm still putting together.
Okay.
But I do have my social media. You can go on my social media posts. Check. I'm still adding things to my Instagram. I
Mhm.
just created my photography Instagram as well. And then, but yeah, do you want me to go ahead and say my handles?
Yeah,
for
go
okay,
for it.
yeah. So my Facebook handles is just under Justin Bailey. If you want to find the business side of it, it's I want to say it's JB Productions or JB Photography. My Instagram is JB Photography 8, and then my personal Instagram is _Justin Bailey.
Mhm. And what keeps you motivated?
Ooh,
What would you say keeps you motivated?
that's a good one. Um, I would probably say my son.
Okay.
He's active. He's in sports.
Mhm.
I'll put God first through everything. He gives me
Of
the strength
course.
to stay motivated, but just finding new things
Mhm.
to stay inspired. I'm constantly looking for growth,
Yeah.
and that just keeps me going. And then my friends, my small circle around me, that's what keeps me going.
Awesome, awesome. And what is the best advice that you would give somebody that's starting off with photography?
Ooh.
Something that you've learned the hard way that you could avoid somebody making
Yeah.
that mistake.
That's a lot. That's tough because there's a lot to it. But just understanding the lighting.
Yeah.
If you don't have like the flash or the good lighting, to understand the actual difference between the natural lighting versus flash.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding like the aperture, your shutter speed, and your ISOs,
Mm-hmm.
and then the camera quality.
And are you self-taught or did you go with classes?
No, I'm self-taught.
Oh, you're self-taught.
Yeah.
So you've sat
Everything
there
I've
and
done,
examined everything.
Mm-hmm.
And other than photography, what else are you doing?
I do marketing for Daniel Montoya and
Okay,
Andrews.
awesome.
He's a platinum real estate agent in
Mhm.
Andrews. I handle all his events.
Oh,
I
wow.
also do the Just Believe podcast, which I kind of focus more on the mindset, the positivity,
Yeah.
and life struggles.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have that on YouTube? What's that handle?
That is actually on Spotify and
okay.
Apple Play. Is it Apple?
Yeah, Apple Music.
Apple Podcasts or
Yeah.
something like that. I just tell everybody it's on Apple.
Yeah.
So, but that's on a Just Believe podcast.
And how did you get onto Spotify?
I just kind of used one of their platforms,
Oh,
and it
okay.
kind of just ventured out and just kind of spread throughout the every platform that's on that. Actually,
Oh,
it
nice.
used to be Acorn, I believe.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It's like a little free thing that you could just throw out there and
It'll get you on Spotify.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And what are the most, other than Spotify, what are the other most helpful resources that you go to that are your must
For the podcast?
for the podcast and for photography?
Ooh, resources. I don't know. I'm just kind of. I just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Off the top of my dome. Photography, I just kind of. I YouTube quite a bit.
Okay.
I'll Google, like different angles. I'll just kind of look up people I can kind of resonate with, and then kind of go off of like, oh, this picture inspired me. I want to try to capture something like this, but put my own twist to it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and authenticity is like something is a must because not somebody could do it the same. We were just talking about this. Somebody could do it the same, but they could do it different in their own own twist, which makes it authentic for themselves.
Oh yeah.
So with the podcast, you said it was more of an inspirational towards the mindset and the way your perspective of the world is, right?
Right.
Give us any information on your podcast. Do you have release dates? Do you kind of just record and on live, or how do you do your podcast?
I normally just kind of, so how do I do this? So I'll record a session, and then I'll probably hold on to it for a little bit.
Okay.
Unless I just really want to push it out.
Yeah.
My podcast, I really I was trying to be consistent with doing it once a month. But now that I've been so busy, I've kind of pushed it back.
Yeah.
And then it's just if I feel like, there's an episode I really want to talk about, or if I've had multiple people ask me a question like, hey, one question I get asked a lot is how do I stay positive so much? So that's a question I kind of just like, okay, let me make a podcast about it.
Yeah.
Let me throw it out there because if multiple people are asking for it, there's others out there too, but they're just kind of scared to ask it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just go with the flow.
You just kind of go with whatever.
It's kind of like if like God's telling me, hey, you need to put this out, I'll do it. So that's kind of how I feel. Yeah,
and you used to do it once a month, and now it's kind of like on the slow margin because you're so busy with your with your. So tell me, how long does it take for a photo shoot to actually? Like, is it a whole day that he schedules to do photo shoots, or does he kind of call you, or do y'all make appointments, or how does that work?
So are you talking about Daniel?
Daniel.
So basically, just depends on. So he don't we don't do any like type of special photo shoots. But when it comes down to like he has an event, then we'll just go get it, take care of it. Like we just did a YPN event for the Odessa board. and it was at the UTBB. We did like a tailgate. I just went through, captured 15, 20 photos, captured a few photos for the UTP football game, and then basically just marketing for themselves, you know. Take pictures of the families. But yeah, when it comes down to just, we don't really have a schedule. It's just like, hey, I need this done. Let's do this. You know, all his real estate photos, same thing. He'll tell me, hey, Wednesday I need photos for this house. Can you go get it? Yes, sir. I'll go get it. Go get it done. Edit. We try to get it listed as soon as possible.
And how long of a frame do you give yourself to edit and
That's tough.
get them out?
With his real estate photos, I try to get them at least that night or the day after, because you know he needs his real estate photos done pretty quick. When it comes to his events, I'll try to get those at least a day or two.
Okay.
And then if, let's say, I got softball action photos that need to be done, I try to push those out as quick as possible as well. Birthday events, those take me a little longer because, you know, I need to edit harder, and then I got multiple, like 200 types of photos, 300 at times.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sometimes I overshoot. It's bad.
Yeah, because then you have to go through all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that. Same too. I'll overshoot, and I'm just like, oh man, what did I do?
Yeah. Just if you are needing any type of like positivity or anything with the mindset, definitely just go check out my podcast. It's definitely worth it. I wanna start doing videos. This is my first time on video.
Oh wow.
So this is a big step for me. This is something I've been wanting to do, stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for my podcast too. Is the reason why I'm kind of inspired, and when you asked that question, was mainly me stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's what it was. You know, I'm always big about growth. You know, what can I do to grow as an individual, human, and here I am.
Just in general.
Yeah, just in general.
Because if you're comfortable, you're not growing. So being out of your comfort zone is always a best option, because that means that you're actually growing and new things are coming your way.
Yeah.
So that's always positive. But I want to go ahead and thank you for coming, for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
I'm sure people will hit you up for more pictures.
Yeah, hopefully.
This is what I'm trying to do, is promote everybody.
That's awesome.
But
I love what you do. So
yeah, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate it. But thank you, and once again,
yeah, and I'll have to come get a tattoo sometime.
Yeah, for sure.